Of Realities May Vary, the podcast that has no theme song
Nope.
and very little budget. But we're here anyway because it's two guys who love to talk. He's Cody Gough.
I am
Brian Noonan. What's going on with your studio today? You're
trying something new.
There's a lot going on. Well, the dragon is making an appearance, which is always exciting.
Mm-hmm.
People have heard about the dragon for years. So now it's like Enter the Dragon. There it is. And there's a red blanket on your wall. Are you in distress? Is this some TikTok message that we should? Yeah, TikToks are great.
You saying they got bad breath?
Emergencies. No, I'm saying perhaps you're sending a signal. You and Britney Spears sending messages through your videos that people are worried about.
Is that what she was doing?
That's what the Free Britney people were saying. I don't know. I don't really follow Britney on Instagram. I'm not going to lie to you, but I have gone on a couple of times because she does tend to post a lot of semi-nude photographs of herself.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And, as a dirty old man, it's every once in a while to, check out Britney Spears for a minute and go, hey, what's happening there? That's exciting because she's in her 30s now. It's not, I'm not a pervert or anything. Well,
yeah.
Allegedly. Not in this case. Yes.
Not any more than anybody else right now. Yeah, I don't know. My setup's fine. No one cares.
Yeah, what's going on? You seem a little you seem tense. Are you all right?
Hello, no, I'm Linda. Not. I'm just like I'm just trying to figure out how there's
you had technical issues last week too.
No, it's not even technical issues. It's just preference. Like I don't want to come on here using the same set I use at work because I feel like that's just not a smart idea. I should
probably, yeah, I understand that. That's probably good.
But I also don't want to because this is not affiliated with anything.
Correct.
Show, except being awesome. And I can't tear down my whole setup. So anyway, now it's just going to look awkward and no one cares because no one cares. No one cares about my background.
No, and most people listen to this on audio only. So they don't. We're making a huge deal out of something that most of the audience will never see.
Yeah. No, everything I'm doing is stupid. It's great, but hey, I'm glad to be here.
Are you
excited about whatever happened on the earth that I probably haven't heard about? What did I hear this week?
Yeah, let's start with what you've heard this week, because I'd like, usually I come in with some stories, and of course I've got the paper right here with all my things, but I want you to start today. I want you to talk about what you've heard and we'll comment on it.
Well, I presume we're going to spend most of the time anyway talking about how we saw each other in person. It was delightful.
That will be a topic of conversation.
But that's not, that's not relevant to the news, really.
Correct.
Necessarily. Not this time. Nobody got arrested this time. So, what does that leave us? Okay, so Facebook changed its name, or was that from the week before?
I actually noticed it for the first time on Instagram today. Because when you sign on to Instagram, it's for the first time, it says Instagram by Meta.
Meta.
Yeah, man. Instagram by Meta.
Oh, I knew secondhand that the Comcast failed everywhere today.
Yes.
Did you have issues?
We had issues at the house, but I was gone already. I texted Debbie because I got an email at school saying that most of the system had been down and it had messed up some of the stuff at school, but it was back up. And so I texted Debbie and she said, yes, it was out, but it's back on. And we don't have Comcast. We have Xfinity, but they're all piggybacking on each other.
So everything was out.
I don't know anymore.
Comcast, Xfinity, NBC Universal. It's all the same.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah. So
it's all the same
I guess we lost it for a while.
Well, look, I had AT&T. I have AT&T, which hey, I didn't have my internet out today. What's your beef with AT&T?
We had AT&T for years and years. Yeah. Price went up, service went down. They didn't have the speed. I need speed, Cody. I need huge internet speed. And where I was living, they're like, well, we can't give you that speed. You get slow speed. You get hamster on a treadmill speed. And I was like, why? They make you feel ghettoized. if you don't have, if you don't live in the high dollar areas, then you can't get the fastest speed. And now with Xfinity, man, I got speed, buddy. I got a crazy modem down here that, what's a fast speed? I got
100. 100.
Yeah, 100. I go 100. I might go 120.
It's a fast speed.
Yeah, it's fast. You don't see me lagging. I'm quick like a bunny. I'm like the Vin Diesel of internet.
Wow.
I'm fast and I'm furious. That's right.
I was about to say that's the weirdest analogy I've heard, and then you just flipped it right around, and it was great.
But then I cleared it up.
Flawless.
Oh, I'm a professional.
So yeah, we get the
So
internet.
wait, so you have your AT&T, you had your internet. All right, so you heard about the big internet outage. What else have you heard about?
There is a new podcast from Michael Gross called Tremors Making Perfection about the making of the Tremors movies.
I have never seen the Tremors movies.
Oh.
Never. Kevin Bacon's in one, right? And Reba McEntire?
And they're in the first one, yeah.
They're in the first one.
Yeah.
And Michael Gross is in all of them? Or is he
Yeah.
just in? All right.
He's the only person that's in all of them.
Let me see if I have. Like I said, I've never seen the movie.
Okay.
But through pop culture, let me see if I have this right. There's giant worms under the earth. And they come up and they try to eat people. And these guys fight them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that basically it?
Yeah.
But it's got some comedy in there.
Oh, it's great. It's amazing. It's like, it's so campy. But Tremors 2. All right. So last year I watched Tremors with my wife, and it's whatever. Like, I don't know. We enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
It's what, early 80s Tremors?
I'm
looking it up.
Yeah, look that up. The first Tremors movie. There's something you got to know about the first Tremors movie going into
1990.
90. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know this going into it, but we watched it, and at the end, I turned to my wife and I was like, "Do you realize that every single line of dialogue, every spoken line of dialogue, gave you a new piece of information about this world and drove the story forward? Every single one. There wasn't a single throwaway line."
Really?
And I find that extraordinary. Now, to be fair, I was very high, but I also am able to do close readings of things, and I write scripts for a living. So no, the first movie is one of the most precisely written movies I've ever seen.
Really?
And it's super campy, and you've got Reba and you've got Kevin Bacon, and it's, it's just a goofy, it's kind of a fun romp, not really scary. There's like two
it's
gory
called
parts.
Wikipedia calls it a comedy horror film.
Yeah. So it's great. It's great. There's not really a lot of movies like it. It comes off as like a Spielberg film.
What?
But yeah, like you watch it and you're like, I feel like Steven Spielberg could have directed this. Like, just because the way that it's shot and the way that it's an extraordinary film in its own right. And then so when I was visiting my family and my brother-in-law in Los Angeles last month, we were like, what should we watch? It was
Were there Tremors?
Halloween. Well, I was like, let's watch Tremors 2.
Yeah. All right.
Tremors 2 is awful.
Really? Now, sequels, except for The Godfather Part 2, I can't think of a sequel that was better than the original. And a lot of sequels don't ever need to be made, period. Can we agree on that?
Arguably Gremlins 2.
Not familiar with it. I remember I watched Gremlins, big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2 is self-aware and kind of makes fun of the fact that it's a sequel in the movie. So they take it in a totally different direction, and it's kind of meta, as it were. It's very self-aware and like self-referential and very over the top. Oh, Terminator 2. Mike's got it. Terminator 2. Way better than the original.
Mike. Terminator. Yep. Terminator 2 was good. All right. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Gremlins 2 is on the same level as Gremlins, but no, Tremors 2 was so bad that my wife fell asleep. My brother-in-law fell asleep. His wife fell asleep at various points. And finally, at some point, somebody woke up and they were like, I'm pretty tired. And I was like, yeah, this movie's really bad. And we just left. And I don't think they finished. They might have finished watching it, but oh my gosh, I was embarrassed. It was so bad.
So that's now anytime a movie choice comes up, if you're ever with them again, you do not get to pick because they're going to go, oh, remember the last time Cody picked the movie? That was a disaster.
The first Christmas I spent with her family, we watched Die Hard. That's
Okay.
good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I've stopped debating whether it's a Christmas movie. It is. It's 100% a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
Actually.
Okay.
Another potential sequel better than the original, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to sort them out. With a Vengeance, is that Samuel L. Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's a pretty good one. I just saw the end of the last one, A Good Day to Die Hard, which is that's my motto pretty much. And that's how I want to die. But
Hard?
I was always turgid. Turginator 2.
Oh boy.
So I was going to sleep and I always turn the TV on because I know when I'm tired, if I turn the TV on, I'll be out in like 10 minutes. And it was the very end of Good Day to Die Hard, which I've seen. And I watched just the last 10 minutes and I was like, boy, this was awful. This was just so bad. But it's one of those, it's so bad that you just go, all right, I know what's going to happen. John McClane's going to save the day. Now he's going to save the day in Russia with his estranged son who he didn't know worked for the CIA. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then because sequels, that's why the sequel thing, because that was bad. And then I saw the final or a few minutes before I fell asleep, another night of Iron Man 3.
Oh,
Iron Man was phenomenal. You can't argue that Iron Man was phenomenal. Iron Man 2, okay. Iron Man 3, forget about it. The Mandarin, shut up. It was just bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I'm glad they stopped making. Well, now Thor has another sequel coming out. But the Thor movies, the sequels were pretty funny.
Isn't Thor going to be a woman now?
I don't think so. Is he transitioning?
No, in the comics, Thor's a woman now.
Oh, well, that's newer Marvel cinematic. I don't think that's in the cinematic universe yet.
Okay.
That'll come. But the second Die Hard is garbage, according to Adam. That's the airport. Oh, yeah, that is the airport one. The third one, the airport one, was horrible.
Never saw it.
It was just awful. The third one is with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So the second one, the second Die Hard was awful. That's the one on snowmobiles and they're jumping over fences at an airport. And Dennis Franz is the worst head of airport security probably on the planet. And I'm a huge Dennis Franz fan from NYPD Blue. Boy, I've stumped you. I've stumped the band.
Now, are you going to see the Eternals?
No, not at a theater. I'll see it when when I can watch it for free on one of my many.
Or is it around Disney?
I don't think if it's streaming on Disney Max, they always charge like $30 when they're brand new. And I go, what? That's why I waited for Black Widow. I waited. All of a sudden, Black Widow was streaming, for whatever I paid for Disney Plus, and that was it. So, Karen is out of this conversation. What luxury? You don't need to listen. Movies are not a luxury.
Was Black Widow good?
Black Widow was pretty good. It was more about the rest of the family than Scarlett Johansson. But we all know Black Widow's origin story. So it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, All
right.
So how did we get on this movie tangent?
I don't know. I know I don't have any.
It was the Michael Gross Tremors podcast news that you reported. Wow.
Not real news. Not real news.
That was a good pull for my my addled mind to remember that.
Yeah.
From 15 minutes ago. All right. What else have you heard? So you've heard Michael Gross is launching a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You heard, I forget what the other thing was that you heard. You heard something else. Then what else have you heard?
I already forgot.
You forgot what you've heard?
No, yeah, I literally forgot the first. What was the first thing?
I don't remember.
Oh,
I can't remember the first thing. I'm going to run back and see if anybody, nobody mentioned anything about it. So I don't remember. I don't remember what the first thing you said you heard was. Holy cow, This is bad that we can't. Short-term memory must be the first to go. I've been noticing that a lot lately, and it panics me, quite frankly, because one of my biggest fears is losing my memory. Getting dementia or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I can't, like the other night, we were talking about something and I couldn't recall the name of a brewery. Remember that? I was just like, I knew everything about it, but I couldn't remember the name, and I panicked because I have nothing written down anywhere. I count on my memory for everything, and I'm rolling the dice. But now I do, like, now I write down the grocery list and I write down what I want to talk about here so that I don't forget. But yeah. Well, we'll figure it out.
You should write down the grocery list anyway. You'll save money. People on average save money because they buy fewer impulse things if they have a list.
Yeah, I go with the list, and then every once in a while, I'm going on the list, and then something pops in to augment what is on the list, and I'll go, oh yeah, I forgot, I need that too, and I'll hook this up. All right, let me bring this up. There's a number of things. Well, did you hear about Big Bird?
Big Bird is vaccinated.
Yeah, that's
that.
Not making Ted Cruz happy. Ted Cruz very upset. He called Big Bird government propaganda for your 5-year-old, because we all know that Big Bird is a covert agent spreading disinformation. Big Bird is out there. Big Bird and the rest of the Muppets, oh man, they're just doing the Democrats' bidding.
When did medicine become political? Right?
About a year and a half ago.
Like if I have
really.
If I know somebody that's got a headache, oh, you got a headache? Yeah, you want some ibuprofen? It's a thing you can put in your body, and then it makes the headache go away. No, you woke left regressive socialist. No, I'm not gonna take this thing that makes my headache go away. Why would I want that?
Why is this?
Why is this? Is that like society has actually reached a new low? I think we've actually reached a new low with the whole vaccine thing. Yeah,
we have a vaccine that can keep people from getting seriously ill, and do we bring it? Listen, if we're going to talk about Big Bird, who's pro-vax, obviously, along with Rosita got her first vaccine shot. I don't know. Has Sesame Street become a thing in your house yet?
No TV for the kid.
Even Sesame Street?
No, he's only 14 months.
All right. Well, listen, I don't know what the new age parents say.
Someone told me before 2, you really shouldn't let him in front of too many TVs. Whatever, who cares? But we don't really do.
All right. Well, someday you'll watch Sesame Street because it is educational.
Oh yeah,
it is kind, and it's a nice thing for children to watch. But they did Sesame Street in partnership with CNN through Sesame Street's one of Sesame Street's foundations. Did a special at Town Hall. So they were answering children and parent questions about the vaccine. They did it the day that the FDA approved the vaccines for kids 5 to 11. So it was timed out, and and some of the Muppets got their first vaccine, and that's when Big Bird tweeted out, and so that became a thing. And so they're all pro-vax, which got Ted Cruz very angry. And of course, then the Trump sons jumped on that, and Fox News and everybody saying that the Sesame Street, even though it's a nonprofit and it's Sesame Workshop, which is all about inclusion and education and safety and making kids feel good, they were propagandists. And then your boy Aaron Rodgers, and I say your boy because you're a Packers fan, he comes out with his craziness.
Hold on.
Huh.
One of my friends is a die-hard Packers fan. He has stock. He and I go way back. We rooted for them in high school. Well, we both turned on Aaron Rodgers when he showed up to his interview today wearing a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker hoodie, because that might be the worst movie ever made.
Hey man, his viewing, his choice.
I don't even
tell
care
him how to like movies.
I don't even care what he said. I literally don't care what he said. The fact that he was willingly wearing a Rise of Skywalker hoodie, just like, you're done. You're done. You are not allowed to have opinions anymore, or whatever they are. You're allowed to have them, but they're so bad. I'm not listening to, if your taste in movies is that, imagine what kind of a mind it takes. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but
I don't think so. I don't believe he is. He doesn't
Okay,
talk to
whatever.
his family. He's I don't believe he is. He's a wonderful quarterback. Can't take that
Okay.
away from him.
Okay.
But no, he can't. No. Yeah, so he comes out on the other side, and he's spouting off all these, all this craziness about, not being vaccinated, and he didn't lie about. So the world is just back to your point that the world is nuts because of medicine, and it doesn't make sense that we should be, and yet we are. And quite frankly, I was on the air in Milwaukee yesterday, and you can imagine how big a story this is in Milwaukee. This is like the biggest story in Milwaukee. The only thing better, if there had been a cheese Armageddon and all the cheese had been wiped off the earth, that would have probably been a bigger story. But I didn't even want to talk about it because I'm not going to argue with anti-vax people. I'm tired of it. I don't, do what you want. I'm not going to stay. Because now we can't even agree on the definition of a lie anymore. He said that the NFL doctors told him that vaccinated people can't catch COVID. And the NFL came out immediately and went, that's not true. None of our doctors would ever say that. So that's a lie, right? If you say something that's knowingly not true, it's a lie. If you say,
did he know it wasn't true? Or did he misunderstand the doctor?
All right, listen, I knew you'd be an apologist for Aaron Rodgers.
There's a lot of people that don't understand that you can still get COVID even when you're vaccinated. My friend texted me. He's like, my brother got COVID even though he was vaccinated. I was like, okay, well, that's normal. And then he was like, well, he's really sick. He's like in bed. And I was like, okay, well, good. He'd be dead probably if he didn't have the vaccine.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that was another thing that Aaron Rodgers said. Why should I even do it? People are getting it and they've been vaccinated. Yes, that's how it works.
That's how that works.
But he did 500 pages. He had 500 pages of research, Aaron Rodgers, but he forgot the page where it said the efficacy rate of these vaccines is like 90-some%, which means 95% of people will not die now if they get COVID. That wasn't in his research. But who are we to judge an NFL MVP?
Well, I saw the hoodie he was wearing.
I know you judged that.
Immediately judged.
I felt in the initial interview that made all the problems, he was wearing a T-shirt that had a Tombstone quote on it that Doc Holliday said in Tombstone, the movie Tombstone. And I was like, oh, I kind of like that T-shirt.
Oh.
But I don't like anything that's coming out of his mouth. Plus, he did that stupid thing where he's inside, and I know this is a generational thing, but stop wearing wool beanies inside. You know what I mean? The wool stocking cap. Just stop. You're inside. You're Aaron Rodgers. You live in a nice house. I'm sure you have temperature controls in your home. It's never going to be so cold in your house that you have to wear a beanie. Even if you never played football again and all you did was shill for State Farm, you'd still have a furnace that works in your home. And you have long, greasy hair. So it's not like you're bald and all the heat's escaping out of the top of your head. No. So I judge him on that, on his slovenly appearance. That's how I do it.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to go back to the Star Wars shirt. It's such a bad movie. It's such a, like, this is actually why I think it's possible that he misunderstood the doctors. Because if he went to that movie and he thought to himself, that movie was acceptable in any way, shape, or form, then he missed a lot. You know what I mean? Like, he just didn't, no critical thinking there, just kind of a blank slate. And I love the Packers, I guess, even though I'm a lapsed football fan.
Wow.
And he's a great quarterback. But once you wear that hoodie in public, you are making a statement that you hate good things.
So are you saying that my Tremors 2 tattoo was a mistake?
Might have been.
Okay. All right. I'm glad I haven't showed it to you. I don't want you to judge me for my body art.
I know it's on your lower back, which in itself, again, is kind of another level of maybe regrettable.
But that's where most of my tremors come from.
Okay.
Right down there. It says
Yep.
tremors, and there's an arrow. It's a 2.
Yep.
So boom.
Yep.
There's a reason for everything I do.
Is there?
No, never. Usually not. That's why I'm wearing my WTMJ sweatshirt today.
Oh, I'm actually wearing you can't see it, and I'm not going to mess with the camera.
Los Angeles. I see something Los Angeles.
I'm wearing my La Brea Tar Pits t-shirt.
Ooh, very nice. Mm-hmm. Very nice. All right. Can I have to call you out on something.
Yes.
All right. So we'll cover this more, but Debbie and I had the pleasure of going over to Cody and his lovely wife's house the other night. Cody and I did a pre-fobab. We were sampling years old barrel-aged beers, which was nice, and his wife made us a lovely dinner. But we can get into all those details in a minute. Last week, one of our fine listeners, Elaine, sent me a message and said, I don't want to be nitpicky, but you've misspelled curiosity on Cody's plug, his plug page, that we've put up right now about his podcast. And I said, oh, wow, that's so weird that neither one of us picked up on that. So I go back in and I'm looking at it I'm like, it looks like it's spelled right. And then I check and I go and I just copied the link from curiositydaily.com and I pasted it right where you see it now. And Saturday night, I said to Cody, I go, hey, we got a message from one of the listeners saying I misspelled something, but it couldn't be because one of us would have noticed this in all this time. And what did you say to me?
Yeah, I said I noticed.
So you've known for I don't know how long that your plug was being misspelled.
Yeah.
And yet you never said anything to me.
Yeah, at least since Craig was doing the show with us.
All right. So that's months.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. Can I add, do I give off a vibe that I'm so fragile that if you said, hey, you forgot an I would lose my mind and perhaps end this endeavor altogether?
Yeah. So I believe the first time I noticed it.
Okay.
That night or the week before, some time in close proximity, Craig had corrected you about the spelling of another lower third that was then corrected.
Okay.
Or you noticed it, or somebody noticed something and then was like, oh, and then a week later, then I noticed, I was like, oh, wait, hold on. The 2 letters are off in the URL. And I was just like, oh, whatever. I'll say something after the show.
Okay.
And the next week I was thinking like, we'll say something after the show or whatever. Just kept forgetting for like 3 weeks. And then after that, like anytime you'd pull it up, it was typically the end of the show. You're kind of doing the end credits thing, and I wasn't gonna just like throw it in there, like oh yeah, and while we're wrapping up, I should mention this is misspelled. And I've thought about it every week for months, and I just have never, like during the show, and then after this, like it just doesn't enter my mind, and
okay.
I think eventually maybe it became one of those like, well, I haven't said anything this long, I might as well just let it go, and I don't know what. Like,
well, thank you to Elaine for pointing it out because 1, I am a horrible speller. 2, I am a really, really bad proofreader. And 3, the rest of the audience didn't say anything either.
Yeah.
So nobody said anything. I don't know. 1, I like the fact that you were all afraid to tell me things because who knows what my reaction will be. I'll either take it well or I'll completely lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that there's a little bit of fear that goes along with this whole endeavor. But 2, I'm like, once I found out, it was like a priority. I came right upstairs and went on to change it because I'm like, I don't want to screw up Cody's plug after months and months.
Worst. I know. I mean, you can't click on it, right? So because it's on the screen, you can't click on it. So like, it wasn't stopping anybody from going, right?
I hope they'll go to curiositydaily.com.
There's that thing that you can do. There's that psychology test where like you read a sentence and all the words, all the letters in the middle of the words are jumbled up, but you can still read the sentence because your brain picks up on the first and the last letters and just kind of like combines it. So it was CURIO. I believe it was
STY.
STIY. 2 letters were swapped.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was STIY.
Oh, okay.
At daily.com. So like there's right in the middle of it, right?
Yeah.
And if you start to read Curios and then you get to daily and you say Curiosity Daily, like you're gonna know, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I didn't think it just didn't. It's a weird thing that I did, not saying anything. It's a very weird thing.
I was shocked when you said that you knew it. That
I'm a weird,
and you were like, yeah, I didn't say anything. What?
I'm a weird person.
On?
I don't know why that happened.
Here's why I'm such a poor proofreader. And I don't know if this is a psychological thing, because I'm a good proofreader. Like if you wrote something and gave it to me, I could proofread that. But when I'm proofreading my own stuff, I know what I wanted to type, or I know what I wanted to write. So I'm just, in my mind, I'm reading it like I thought it, and all my thoughts are perfect. We know that. So, is that an excuse? Maybe a little. Is it a character flaw? You be the judge. I don't know. What am I going to throw myself under the bus? But it's fixed now. Months later, who knows how many listens, how many clicks I cost you? 6,
none.
7?
I would say none.
None. All right, we'll go with none. That will be good. That'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like I have nothing to say in my defense. Like I just, it's just a thing I didn't do. And
all right. I honestly felt bad, but I was also shocked because like I expect that I will miss a misspelling.
Right.
But I didn't expect both of us to miss a misspelling. So that's why I was so shocked. And when Elaine sent me that message, I'm up here looking, I'm like, what? Okay. How did I, even when I put the new one in, I'm like, isn't that what I had? But then to find out that you at 2, Cody. Yeah.
And there was no reason. There's like, I have no, there's not even a rationalization for it. Right. There wasn't even in my mind, there isn't even, I can't give you a reason. I can't point to why this happened. It's just,
one day 8 years ago in the middle of the night, I misspelled something and you pointed it out and I lashed out violently.
There wasn't even like, I can't even think back to a single time. Like what thought was running through my head when I saw the misspelling and decided not to say something? No idea. No self-awareness. Could it be that you really don't like your job? I don't know. But is it laziness? Was it apathy? Was it, I don't know. Was it,
wow.
Was I drunk? I wasn't drunk.
We stopped drinking on the show.
Yeah. That's because I got messy every week.
Nah.
But it's stout season soon, so we'll see. I was going to actually bust out the Affy Tapple that you kindly brought over.
All right.
I was going to bust it out tonight, but I had milk at dinner. I've noticed that when I drink milk at dinner, my body doesn't want beer.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Feel it, right? Like if I reach for a beer, my whole body will be like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. So
no, don't waste it. Don't waste it on a night where you're not going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get into this then, because it was we had a lovely time at your house the other night. This was, we for a year have been talking about getting together, because last year for the Goose Island release and for the Revolution Stout releases, we couldn't get together and drink them. So we had all these stouts that we wanted to drink, and Cody's very busy. Cody and his wife, correct me if I'm wrong, your social calendar is jam-packed.
It's too full.
So we've been trying to find a day to get together, and Saturday worked. It was very nice. So we go over, first of all, I've said this before, and it's getting creepy, so I can't say it anymore, how adorable your son is. It's the more I say it, the more it sounds like I'm going to have him in the back of a van soon, and that's not the case. But he the first 10 minutes, he wanted nothing to do with us. We walked in, he immediately ran over and grabbed your leg and hid and started to cry and did the normal little kid thing.
Yeah.
That strangers are in my house. I don't like it. Dad, protect me from these lunatics. After about 10 minutes, man, he and Debbie became the best of friends. He was having a ball. Kid was, she's still, Sunday, I think Molly was getting jealous because Molly was over Sunday and Debbie couldn't stop talking about how cute he was. Oh, Cody, Casey's baby, so cute. He's so cute. And I said to Molly, I think she might like him better. I was cute too. I was cute. I'm not worried. I was cute too. I'm like, well, that was a while ago,
She's got to meet the baby. She hasn't met him yet.
I know. Well, once she does, then forget about it. Then she's going to want to babysit too.
Oh man. Yeah. We got to make that happen.
Everybody's going to want to babysit. But yeah, it was, we came over and your wife was cooking up a lovely dinner and we broke out a couple of stouts and had some buffalo chicken dip and conversation. And then we had dinner and all right, this is not a criticism. This is just something I noticed. And I mentioned it to you at your house. First-time parents always think their kid is misbehaving. Whereas people who have children who have grown up, your son was wonderful. He was well-behaved. He was friendly. He ate dinner. He ate buffalo chicken dip like it contained the cure to COVID. I have never seen a kid eat spicy food like that.
We got to get back to that was Debbie. So she made this delicious buffalo chicken dip. And what kind of hot sauce did she use?
Frank's, this one was buffalo wing hot sauce.
Okay, so
the Frank's hot sauce, yeah.
All right, so Frank's hot sauce is in it, right? Literally hot sauce. There's blue cheese and chicken, right? Just really good buffalo chicken dip. So we're sitting there, and my son's reaching, and he wants to try everything. Anything you eat, he wants to try.
Yes.
So I put a little bit on a chip, and I made sure there was a lot of blue cheese on it. But like it's a dip; it's all mixed up, right? So I'm
also
like,
blue cheese is not a taste most 1.5-year-olds are into.
True. So I gave him the chip, and he eats all the dip off the chip, and he kind of chews, and he's kind of looking off, kind of thinking about it, and then he throws the chip down, and he's like ba ba ba, and starts like shouting and reaching for the dip again. So I put some more on a chip and handed it to him, and he just doesn't even eat the chip. He just eats it off the chip, throws the chip down, and starts screaming and reaching for the dip again. I've never seen that.
I need to know how was his stomach that night and the next day?
I did not change his diaper the next morning.
You're not exaggerating. There was one point you put more dip on a chip than I will shove in my mouth, and he hoovered it in like there was no tomorrow, and he just wanted more. And then you're right, he would just throw the chip down, or he'd throw the piece of pita chip down. He just wanted that dip.
Mm-hmm.
And Debbie did say, because he was on Debbie's lap a lot later, she's like, oh man, he's farting. That's not going to be good later. Because he had his dinner, and so he was all good to go that way. You guys are so he was behaving beautifully for a 1.5-year-old with strangers at the house. But it was funny because we used to be the same way. If they make any noise, like, oh, just calm down. It's like he was being a fun 1.5-year-old. He was not doing anything out of the ordinary or anything. And I like that. I liked you guys were counting down his bedtime. All right, 7:55. Here's your milk, and he just grabs it, glug glug glug, and then he was off to bed, and he went right to sleep.
Yeah.
You got it down. You got a system working.
No, we're good. I mean, it's all my wife. She gets all the credit, and he's on a nap schedule now, and it's going really well. And he's on his bedtime's smooth as butter every night. So yeah,
it seems like it. He didn't put up any fuss about going to bed.
No, we're super lucky. I mean, like last week was like a bad week, and there were it was
Well,
trouble.
sure.
He wouldn't do this. He'd yelled a lot. He was angry. But for the most part, I mean, I can't complain.
Always have some buffalo chicken dip in the house.
Oh man. Yeah.
Keep that
And
kid calm.
it was funny because like a lot of times when he's being shy, like people will comment, and if I just hand him to a person and they take him, he's fine. So, he was being shy, and then Debbie was sitting down and she grabbed a book, and I just like sat him on her lap, and she opened the book and he was reading a book.
Yep,
No
there he
problem.
was. And then can you explain the pushable airplane, the aftermarket addition to his pushable airplane?
Oh my gosh. All right. He has this little airplane toy that's intended for a toddler to sit on and kind of run forward, and it's shaped like a little airplane, little Mickey Mouse airplane.
Yeah.
You can hit a button, the propeller will go.
The brake sound is good when you hit the
brake
stop
sound's great.
button.
Brake sound, stop button, plays like 2 songs. Disney.
Perfect.
It's adorable. We have a few pictures up in the living room, and one is a picture of my wife holding him up in a little like wolf costume from when he was like 6 months old. 3 younger than that. Gosh, like say 4 or 5 months old.
All right.
And he kept pulling it down. There's no glass in it. It's just the frame. So it's just the frame in the picture and no glass. And for some reason, my nanny put it on the seat of the airplane and put Scotch tape all around, like packing tape all around the plane. So it's taped to the seat. So you have this little toy airplane that a kid can ride around. And there's just a framed picture of my wife and my son taped to it. And my son will look at it and point at it. And then mostly he stands behind the plane and pushes it.
I was going to say he can't sit down on it now.
He never did anyway.
Okay.
So very weird. But people see it, and he saw it. It's just like, what?
It's like a little shrine. It's like a little shrine to their relationship on his airplane.
It's very strange.
Like he doesn't want to travel without his mom, which it makes sense. That's all right.
Yeah. But no, he was just a barrel full of fun.
He was barrel full of fun. And then he went right to sleep, and we were able to hang around and have try a couple more beers and have some nice conversation, many laughs.
Mm-hmm. We had a lot of, the stouts we had. So we both had saved stouts from last year.
Yes.
I saved, so I had a couple Cuvée de Gras from Revolution Brewing. And we started with that. And then we went to your amazing find, I believe.
Yeah, there was last year I won the Goose Island Prop Day giveaway. Well, not the lottery. It wasn't a giveaway, but, and one of the bottles in there just had a question mark on it, and it was a mystery, and it said barrel aged with coconut. And so I had saved that, and that's what we had next. And that was really good.
It was really good.
And then I forget, there were a couple other ones that there was a maple one, but I don't think we had the oatmeal stout with maple. I don't think we opened that one.
We never opened that.
No, we didn't open that one.
Oh gosh, that's my mistake. I forgot about that.
I think because you brought out something different.
Yeah, well, so then we had the Goose Island Bourbon County Stout, the birthday.
Yeah, that was it. Yes.
The
anniversary.
Was it?
It was the anniversary.
The anniversary. So the anniversary is
the birthday one.
That was the only one that Brian didn't get to try last year.
Yes.
And it was
correct. It was
so good.
Very good. Very good.
That was one of those you could like find a Craigslist ad and you could buy it for like $200 last year. It was just,
I just waited to sponge some of yours for free.
Sure.
So
that's what one does.
Yeah.
But then I pulled out a Revolution.
What was the apple one?
Apple brandy rye.
Yes.
And then I think we had another Cuvée de Gras after that. I would have pulled out the maple. I forgot that you brought the maple coffee one. I'll save it for next time you hear that.
So that's all right. Well, yeah. And so then we're starting to plot our next one with different ones that we have left over. Because I have the birthday one here. And then I have a bunch of different proprietors. So, and I won this year's raffle. So we're going to have a lot. And Phobab is Friday. I'm going. Phobab is this weekend. We'll tell why you're not going to be there with me. But yeah, it's the big festival of wood and barrel aged beer. So I will be. I'll be loopy by about 6:30.
Sure.
Yeah, Debbie's driving me and picking me up as she does every Phobab. This one, thankfully, there was one Phobab where we were supposed to go. Well, we ended up going. Her firm was having a big soiree at the Museum of Science and Industry.
Ooh.
That happened to be the night of Phobab. So I thought when I left Phobab that I was fine. I was not. I got home, immediately fell asleep, and 20 minutes later, Debbie woke me up to get in the shower so we could go to this big soiree at the museum. They had full open bar. They had Revolution stuff. They had all kinds of stuff. I had been so drunk from Phobab, I could not have one beer or anything that night. I think I had a ginger ale. That's how bad it was as I walked around the museum. It was like, ooh. So, yeah, last year it wasn't. Last year they didn't have it. But this year it's in a new location, indoors and outdoors, which does not bode well for Friday night when it's supposed to be storming. But what the heck? I've been wet before. I'll be wet again. That's what she said.
Hi-oh.
Good morning. So yeah, but yeah, it was a great time. It was nice to get together. It was nice to have some adult time afterward with because being with your son was great. And then, like I said, he went to bed, and then we had a really good time after that. So it was a lot of fun. Even Debbie said she had fun, and she never tells me she has fun. Never. I go, you having fun? Never. But yeah, but the dogs were put out. They were very upset that we had left the house. They don't. Lawson always tears up the couches whenever we leave.
Anytime you leave?
Well, he's a dog of leisure. And so he doesn't like tear the cushions off, but he pulls the blankets that we have over them because they lay on the couch. He pulls them and balls them into a pillow so that he's comfortable.
All right.
He's just a weirdo.
That's not so bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But you can tell. Gidget yells at us when we come home. She'll just sit in front of us. I'm like, what's the matter? We gave you food before we left. There's fresh water here. You were inside. We didn't leave you chained up outside for the raccoons and possums to get. Relax. You don't know how good you have it. It was nuts. So, all right. This is, I'm very jealous of you only for one reason, that you're going to New Orleans tomorrow.
Yeah. Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. All right. So you're going Thursday. And explain. What are your plans? I literally wish I could hide in your suitcase, but you would definitely be over the 50-pound limit. You'd have to pay a lot extra for the bag that had me in it.
I believe an Airbnb is being rented with a bunch of bedrooms, and I think there's some extra rooms still free. So I mean, if you want to drive down, just pack up, head out tomorrow.
Head down. Takes me 12 hours. Get there, grab myself a po' boy. Quart of gumbo. I'm ready to go.
Sounds good to me. That's what I'm gonna do. My oldest brother is having a wedding down there, getting a little marriage thing going on. She was super awesome fiance. She's like the best. She's really fantastic, and we're excited to go. So Thursday we fly down. Friday's the wedding, and then Saturday we hang out in New Orleans for a day, and we fly out early Sunday morning. So, with the wedding taking most of Friday, we've pretty much got a day there for Saturday.
Yeah.
Which is, I've never been to New Orleans, so I'm very curious and excited. And I just want to drink a very strong Hurricane, walk around with it, check out the architecture, and push around my kid in a stroller. Call it a day.
That'll be fun. One day, a Saturday in New Orleans is a good day to just be chill and wandering around. The weather should still be nice. Hopefully it won't be raining. It rains a lot.
It's supposed to rain Thursday.
Is it? Are you getting there early Thursday or late Thursday?
Mid-afternoon. So not.
Oh, you got some time on Thursday too.
We can get some dinner or something, just some evening stuff. My since my family will be there, my folks will watch the kid. I don't imagine they're going to be out as late as we are. So, it's not like we my wife and I will be trapped in the hotel with the baby the whole time or anything. There's family pass them around, kind of, group activities.
Well, there's a few kid-friendly things to do, and then at night there's no kid-friendly things to do. That's when you just lock your kid in the hotel room and go on about your business. I'm looking at the forecast. Thursday, partly sunny, 77. Friday, sunny and 70. Saturday, sunny and 61.
Oh, all right.
So it sounds like wonderful fall weather in New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've always wanted to go to New Orleans. I didn't think that these would be the circumstances, traveling with a kid, with a wedding going on, all that stuff. But we'll make the most of it.
Well, this will be a good, you'll get a little taste. And then next time I say, hey, you should come with us to Mardi Gras, you'll go, oh yeah, you should definitely come to Mardi Gras. Because it is fun. I still want to live there. I know there's a lot of problems down there, just like any other major city. Once you drive around the streets a little bit, you're going to realize how awful. You're going to thank God that they passed the infrastructure bill, because the streets in New Orleans, one, because they're below sea level and there's tree roots everywhere. There's not a sidewalk that is flat. Every sidewalk is like being on one of those obstacle course shows. It's insane. And a lot of the streets are that way too. If you're driving down any side streets, it's just forget about it. There's potholes and lumps and trees, and it's crazy. But I'm looking forward to hearing your review of New Orleans next week, because you know my feelings on it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you'll have a good time, and you'll have here's my advice.
What's your advice?
One day really in New Orleans, you got to spend some time in the French Quarter, because that's New Orleans, really.
Yeah.
It's not, but for a tourist, for a one-day thing, it is.
Of course.
But you're staying outside the French Quarter, which is nice. So you're not far from some neighborhood stuff. And your parents have a car. So, even if you wanted to do a couple, something with your son and go wherever, there's things to do. But, you'll have fun wandering around. Stay away from the big ass beer and those fishbowl cocktails. They're not good.
Okay.
They're not. You'll see them on Bourbon Street. Oh, they're big thing, big ass beer, and it's just warm, flat Pabst. And then the fishbowl drinks are. But get yourself your Hurricane at Pat O'Brien's and wander the streets.
Yeah. And
if you wander all the way down Bourbon Street, and you get to Jean Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop, which is the oldest bar in North America, get yourself a purple drink.
All right.
There you go. Then you'll be lucky to make it home.
I love purple drinks.
Here's one thing I didn't tell you the other night. If you want to impress your wife, Saturday night, go to the Hotel Monteleone, to the Carousel Bar.
All right. I'm writing this down.
Make sure you're sitting. Make sure you can try to get a seat at the Carousel. Order yourself a Sazerac. That's where they were created. It's really cool. It's a beautiful hotel. So beautiful, I've never stayed there. But the lobby is beautiful. And the Carousel Bar is, it's fun.
All right.
You just go, and it's just beautiful. Have a nice cocktail. The bartenders are friendly. The people are friendly. So there's one cocktail place that'll make a little memory for you.
Make an impression. I like to do those things.
Mike wants to know if there's a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. Actually, Mike, I saw when I went over to Algiers Point, which you won't have time to do, Cody, but you could take the ferry from the end of Canal Street, right near at the south end of the French Quarter. You could take it right over to Algiers Point, which has one of the most photographed bars in film. There's a bar over there that there's pictures all over it. It's been in a million different movies and TV shows.
You've mentioned this the last time you went. I have mentioned
this one. Yeah. But as I was walking around Algiers Point, there is a house that has a plaque that says the Rising Sun. And I'm like, oh, there it is, the House of the Rising Sun. I don't think that's the one. In fact, I know it's not, because the House of the Rising Sun, I think, was a whorehouse. But So there you go. But yeah, you'll have fun, man. I can't wait to hear what you think of it.
Yeah.
My guess is you're going to come home and go, "This is very dirty. I didn't like it at all." I don't know what you I don't know what you see in this. What you see in that town.
Well, my sensibilities have changed dramatically since becoming a suburban father.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I don't put up with the urban air around things anymore. You know what I mean?
This is probably not for you then.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do like to drink and I like debauchery. So
then this could be the place. This could be the place for you.
I like old stuff. I like architecture. I like impressing my wife. I like anything that really she enjoys. I don't really have many opinions of my own anymore, actually. I just kind of glom onto hers. It's way easier that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if you're looking for music, Frenchman Street on Saturday night would be the place to go.
All right.
And it's all music bar, all music clubs. But there's music all over the quarter. There's all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
Stop in at Molly's on Toulouse, my favorite dive bar. Have a drink in there. That's where a woman reached up under my kilt and gave my junk a little twiddle one night.
I don't really foresee myself sitting in too many places. Like, I think during the day I'll grab drinks and walk around.
Yeah.
Because I want to see as much as I can. And I think that's one of the nicest things about having the open carry. Yeah, I'm going to walk around packing heat in New Orleans.
You're like Yosemite Sam when you get drunk. Grow a big mustache, rootin' tootin'
Nola.
I want to see you root and toot.
Open container.
Yes, open container. Oh, Saturday you'll be able to walk around with a drink nonstop. Grab yourself a beignet and some chicory coffee after a few drinks to level yourself off. Check out the beautiful cathedral there, and it's a great place to walk around. There's a million little places, shops and stuff, and the quarter is so much bigger than Bourbon Street. So, quarter's huge. From Rampart on the north to St. Peter's on the south, Frenchman over there. Yeah, a lot of good places.
And I like bourbon.
A lot of good places.
And I like bourbon, so there's going to be
You're going to have fun.
All of it. Yeah. Well, that'll be a fun update for next week.
Yes, I can't wait to hear. That'll be a good time. And so man, I'm very sad. Here's the thing. Here's something. I'm already tired of the holidays. They haven't even really started yet.
How's that?
This is what. Yesterday, I'm driving around. I'm coming home, and one house in the neighborhood is already fully decorated for Christmas. All their outdoor stuff.
It's November 9th.
Thank you. That's my point. November 9th. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Then, of course, you've got the radio station here in town that goes to Christmas music last week, 24/7. Too early. It's a marketing thing. I get it. But the house that's decorated, and then I saw a couple others, and I'm like, all right, this is getting insane. Today I go to Jewel, and it's full blown Christmas stuff. Out in front, it's potted Christmas trees and wreaths, and then the Salvation Army guys ringing the bell at every door. Now, I want to preface this so I don't, so nobody wants to cancel me. And if you do, too bad. I like the Salvation Army. I've donated a lot of stuff to the Salvation Army, and I'm not virtue signaling there. I'm not going, look how great I am. I'm just saying this to say I support them, and I support charities in general. I hate being bombarded and harassed every time I go into a store during the holidays. It bothers me to no end, the guys who are outside ringing the bells at the store, because listen, I'm as charitable as the next guy, but I'm not always, I don't always want to be guilted just because I'm running in to get a gallon of milk.
Yeah.
And they're always like, hey, how you doing? You want to? No. And then you feel like a jerk. I'm not Scrooge. I don't need to be harangued and bombarded with beggary every time I go shopping. And now it's way too early. It is the 9th of November, as you mentioned. Christmas is the 25th. And listen, Brian, people need giving all year long. I know that, but they don't bring out the kettles during the rest of the year. So let's not split hairs here. This is a holiday tradition. It's too early for the bell ringers. It's just too early. And I don't want to feel guilty. That it's all about me. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. It's all about my comfort. And this makes me uncomfortable.
What's the movie in the very last scene? A bunch of people had a ton of money and then they didn't, and they end up being Santa Clauses or ringing the bells for the Salvation Army or something. They go from super rich to like, that ends up happening. It was like a really good movie for the most part, kind of a classic film. But then it got to the end, and like that was the conclusion, was just like 3 of them are suddenly like store Santa Clauses, and I hated the ending.
I don't remember that one.
I watched it with my wife, and I was like, I really hate that ending.
Tremors 3.
It might have been Tremors 5. Hold on.
Tremors 5. All right. Marta's telling me not to make eye contact. I know that. Listen, I've lived in a city my whole life. I know how not to make eye contact with people. But
No. It was like wasn't it the Goodfellas?
Goodfellas? No, Goodfellas is a mafia movie.
I know. How does it end?
How does it end? Well, spoiler alert, Joe Pesci dies. I think Robert De Niro's character dies.
Oh, never mind. That's
Ray Liotta gets arrested.
What's another gangster movie like Goodfellas?
Well, it's not The Godfather.
Not The Godfather.
It's not Casino.
Not Casino. Not The Irishman. We talked about it on a recent podcast because I told you I saw it for the first time. And you were like, oh, you hadn't seen that? That's
Roadhouse.
wild.
It's not Roadhouse.
I'm gonna have to figure this out.
Here we go. Our short-term memory again.
It's a little more long-term memory, but yeah.
It wasn't. It's not Bad Santa. Bad Santa. He's a mall Santa, but that's not it. Casino. They don't end up as Salvation Army bell ringers in. Marta says Trading Places. But I don't think they end up as Dan Aykroyd becomes or dresses as a Salvation Army Santa in Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. Is that the one you're talking about? But he's only in the costume. He's in the costume in the middle.
No idea. I'll figure it out. All right.
You'll figure it out. So
very horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't able to make the pull. That's what bothers me. We couldn't figure it out.
I swear it was something.
And you swear it's a gangster movie?
I thought so. Because I thought they had a racket, and then like they did really well, and at the end, most of them are gangsters are like, oh, it's gonna drive me out of my mind. I'll look up Casino's ending.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm looking.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't see. I Googled gangster movie with Santas, and nothing comes up. Effet saves Christmas, or Elfet saves Christmas.
Oh, man. I might have to go ask my wife.
All right.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. You go do that. We'll figure this. Reindeer Games? That might be it, Adam. That's the Ben Affleck film. But were they Santas? I don't know. Cody might be talking out his ass. Let's be honest. I don't mean to talk ill of the man when he's not here, when he's going down to ask his wife something, who I guarantee is going to look at him and shake her head with dismay and just go, what? Why are you asking me this? What are you bothering me for? But just to be clear, again, I'm all about holiday giving and helping people. But it's too early and I don't want. All right, what? Yes? You're back?
Oh my God, I was right. It was a gangster movie.
Okay.
Robin and the Seven Hoods.
Oh my God, that is is that Sinatra?
It's Sinatra. Oh my God.
How did you, all right, first of all, where were you watching Robin and the Seven Hoods? And no, we didn't talk about this because I'm shocked. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Falk is in it, Victor Bruno, and Edward G. Robinson.
Yeah. At the very end, 3 of them are dressed up like Santa Clauses, ringing bells outside of some building downtown. Is it the Chicago Theater or It's some theater downtown. Anyway, and they say don't be a do-batter or something.
Oh my God.
My wife had been telling me for years, I've never seen a Rat Pack movie. We should watch a Rat Pack movie sometime. Now, growing up, there was a movie that I remember liking that my mom had on some VHS or something that we'd watched. And I was like, oh, there is one movie that I've seen with the Rat Pack and I kind of liked it. I remember it being good. We should watch that. I thought it was Robin and the Seven Hoods. It wasn't. I don't know what movie it was, but anyway.
Ocean's 11?
No, I have no idea which one it was. But like it wasn't Ocean's 11 either. It might have been one about the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. I don't know.
With the Rat Pack? Okay.
Maybe not. Who knows? So anyway, my memory failed me miserably. And I thought Robin and the Seven Hoods was this great movie that had the Rat Pack in it. So we sat down and watched it like 6 months ago. And I was like, oh, let's watch Robin and the Seven Hoods. And afterwards, she was like, let's never do that again. It was, but there were things I liked about it, but I hated the ending. I hated it. At the very end, yeah, they're
yes, it says at the very end, unable to fight an angry mob of women, Robbo and his gang flee. Robbo and his merry men are reduced to working as Santa Clauses to solicit charitable donations. They watch dumbfounded as Marion steps out of a car with her latest partner, Alan A. Dale, who casually gives the Santas money before going off with Marion. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
So, my worst association with the Bell Ringers is the end of Robin and the Seven Hoods, the 1960s Rat Pack movie.
I love that it took this long to get back to your point.
Oh man. I had no point. I don't go places.
I was going to say, so you don't go to the store and stuff. They're outside everywhere. They're outside Walmart and they're outside Jewel, all everywhere. They're everywhere. And I'm like, stop haranguing me. First of all, I don't think people should be selling anything outside the grocery stores. I don't want the Girl Scouts bothering me for cookies. I don't want the Boy Scouts trying to hawk popcorn. I don't want kids with really, I don't know what affiliation. They just have a cardboard box full of candy. They're like, you want to buy a candy bar? No, I don't know. Where'd you get the candy bars? What's going on? What are you here for? Oh, I might play basketball or I might be trying for a scholarship. What? No, I'm not buying Milk Duds for $4. That's not going to happen. So I think we need to put a moratorium on soliciting outside a place where I'm already going to spend money. Because one, I'm always in a hurry because I'm impatient. Two, I don't want to be bothered. You know, I don't want to, don't ask. I don't want to be guilted into it. I don't want to see your little doe-eyed Girl Scouts. And I'm not being a hypocrite because I never did it. But Debbie did go to, when Molly was a Girl Scout, they did go camp out at the Jewel and, sell their cookies. And she did pretty good. But no, stop. These stores needed, put a kibosh. The kibosh, Cody. That's what I'm talking about. I'm calling for a kibosh.
Yeah.
I'm all worked up.
The more I think about everything, the more that I think that we have the wrong incentives as a society to make things good. Like Christmas season, right? People should shop for, like, when I was little. So this was less than 30 years ago. When I was little, Christmas.
Wait, I'm sorry. How old?
This was when I was little. It was 30 years ago.
All right.
I was still little.
Sure. No, you said less than 30 years ago.
Yeah, less than 30 years ago. Also, I was still little.
Okay.
I wasn't little less than 20 years ago.
All right. Either way, I'm sorry I interrupted your point.
When I was little, Christmas season, shopping season started the day after Thanksgiving, and they would open stores. They would open stores on Black Friday, and you go shopping, and then that's when the decorations went up and the ornaments and all that stuff. And then it just started to creep earlier and earlier. Black Friday used to be a day. Now Black Friday sales are probably already happening.
They are. I'm getting emails about all kinds of Black Friday stuff. And don't give me it's the pandemic. Everybody's trying to get their money back. Shut up. We were all buying stuff during the pandemic.
Yeah, that's been going on for years.
Yeah.
No, but right. It's all economically driven, and like pretty much everything. Like there's so many really terrible things. There are so many terrible things because they're economically driven. Like, for example, my parents have a refrigerator in their basement that is 60 years old. It still runs great. How many
Okay.
refrigerators do they make these days that run for 60 years? Pretty much none because of planned obsolescence, because companies know that they need to get more money from people every 10 years rather than making something that will just last them a really long time. So, like, right. So the incentive there is money, and it makes things worse. Things are worse because
Mm-hmm.
of money. It's the same with like healthcare, right? Like insulin should be affordable, and it's not because people want money, right? So people have to, and then they have to put in all these regulations so you can get your medications and stuff. So like because people need money, right? Taxes. Everyone has to go through this whole thing with like pages and pages of tax paperwork, right? 90% of people, according to Nobel Prize winning economists, could just get a text from the government saying how much they owe, tap a button, and then be done with it because like most people's taxes aren't that complicated. And we have the
Right.
technology, and the IRS knows what you owe them. But instead,
Yes, they
like
do.
people that charge money to make you to prepare your taxes like have created the system and pay other people to like lobby for them so that they make this like just awful opoly where now
An
we live in this
awfulopoly?
awfulopoly. Yeah, it's
I
very
like
awfulopolis.
it.
So
Sounds like a bad falafel chain.
it is.
Come
It's
into
this whole
awfulopoly.
it's a awfulopoly falafel chain, and that's delicious sounding to me. But
Sure, it's all
it's
right.
they've created an entire bureaucratic system of wasting people's time just to get a little bit more money, and it like yeah, like everything is awful because people are solely concentrated on profit margins, and like most things are worse than they could be. And that's where we're at. Actually, psychedelic research. I've been going down a psychedelics research rabbit hole. There's all this
Really?
really promising research that came out in the 50s that, like, with one major like psychedelic experience, like a really heavy dose of psilocybin or maybe LSD, or certain treatments paired with therapies, could be a one and done for people helping quitting smoking, quitting like alcohol, like curing
Really?
alcoholism, essentially. I mean, miracle cures, right? There's no money in it. There's no money in it.
Oh,
It would be a one and done. And, you know, who wants somebody to be fixed after a treatment when they could like just get treatments over time? So like
right. And keep coming
medicine
back
is
to rehab time and time again. And
right. Medicine is worse than it should be because they're not going to research something that is a cheap, widely available cure. So like there's yeah, the more I look around, the more things are really bad. And then people are like, but capitalism works. And it's like, but capitalism's why everything's really bad. Like Comcast went out for everybody today. And it's because the internet's not a public utility. And
right.
the internet's not a public utility because Comcast has a lot of money and they want to keep their money. So they give some money to politicians so that they, you know, can lobby. And now they're not a public utility. So they can do whatever they want. It's impossible to compete against them. And everyone has bad internet and bad customer service. So like, money just makes everything really shitty. Like that's kind of the world we live in. And like the capitalist model, like I think it peaked and now we're like done with it. Like we need to like move on to like a better thing that like allows people
What's
to
going to be
advance.
better?
Just allows people to be happy, spend more time like with their families, get better
Listen,
medicine and
that's
better
happy and
things.
spending more time with your family. That's
No, I'm not. I'm really like if you objectively just sit down and look around, like there's no argument against it. Like there's you cannot argue with me and be like, oh, but like having money be the main motivator of everything makes X better. Like what?
no.
What is better from it? What in your life is better? Because like people are constantly bombarding you with ads trying to get your attention to buy crap you don't need. Like who wins there? And to your point, now it's infested the Salvation Army, right?
Yes,
Now it's like
everywhere.
Christmas season now is 2 months. So people spend more money for 2 months buying things they don't need for 2 months that destroy
Well,
the
because they've
environment for 2
panicked. They've
months.
panicked us now that the supply chain. If you don't spend all your Christmas money now, you're not going to
Oh
have
yeah.
Christmas. There
Oh
will be
yeah.
no Christmas. Just so you know, you've already given me the title for this week's episode. Everything is awful. That is that it will be the title of this week's episode. Everything is awful. But you're right. It's we're just it's nonstop, and charities are a wonderful thing.
Mhm.
But they're part of the give us your money too. And they're out there hustling, trying to get money because really when you if I spend my money somewhere at a Jewel or a store, I have something. If I give it to charity, I I have a warm feeling for a minute and somebody's helped. But, so charities are up against everybody who wants everybody wants your money, like you said.
Mhm.
Charities want it. Retailers want it. Jeff Bezos wants it because he doesn't have enough. Elon Musk wants you to buy a Tesla and then go to the moon. I don't know what he wants us to do. But yeah, it's insanity. So this is all. We got to stop. This is the big, Molly started in with me on Christmas presents already.
What?
Already. Yeah. First of all, Debbie is doing her usual yearly, don't get me anything for Christmas.
Right.
Because we're going to save the money and do other things. And I'm like, okay, that's, we've been saving up because we're going to Ireland next fall. And I get that. We've been trying to do more experiential gifts anyway, something to do. But then I gave her one she hasn't used yet. So you may be getting an invitation to a virtual wine tasting because, they'll send us like 4 bottles of wine and then we'll have a sommelier on Zoom and he'll walk us through the wine. But Molly started sending it last week. Now it was the 1st of November, a day I'll always remember. She started sending me links to things about Christmas gifts for Debbie because Molly is still under the impression that we have to get like when she was a kid where we would give the gifts together, as like you and your son will give your wife a gift from your son,
Mm-hmm.
Well, Molly still operates under that we have to give our gifts together. Like she's a grown woman. She could buy her and she gives money. She doesn't, she gives money for it, but she likes gifts to be in tandem, like to be from both of us to Debbie. I don't know why. A lot of stuff in my life is beyond comprehension. But she's bombarding me with all these ads. And I finally said, listen, Molly, I'm not in the Christmas spirit yet. I'm not thinking about Christmas yet. I don't want to think about Christmas yet. They know that Christmas is not, Christmas is a trigger for me. And I'm hoping like last Christmas is when I started with my medication and therapy and the therapy had been going on. So this Christmas is probably going to be better, but I'm still not crazy about Christmas because of a lot of stuff in the past. I like Christmas with the 3 of us. Remind me of that statement because that will come. So anyway, I'm like, listen, I can't think about Christmas presents now. And she keeps sending me stuff. And I'm like, really, Mal, I don't, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just not, it's November 9th.
Mm-hmm.
We got time. All right, well, fine. If I have to buy stuff myself, then I will. And I'm like, well, no. So I commented on a couple of things, and I'm like, well, I like this, we'll talk about it later. Anyway, well now, so she and Debbie are in cahoots and they're trying to, so last year was great. Here's what I liked about the pandemic. I never had to leave the house. I didn't have to go to any sort of events. I didn't have to mingle. It was fine with me. It was great. Last year was not a good year, so I was happy to not have to go out.
Sure.
Well, this year the holidays are on, boy, in full swing. Everybody, my whole family, everybody's coming in for Thanksgiving to go to my brother's. So we're going to go to Thanksgiving. But then the talk of Christmas came up. And Molly, much to my surprise, is like, I don't want to go to Christmas this year. I just want to do what we did last year and have just the 3 of us at Christmas. She said, and we could go see Grandma, the day before or 2 days before, and we can go over and make dinner at her house and, do all of that. But I don't really want to go to Christmas. And I'm thinking, ooh, she's finally proved she's my daughter. And then I thought, we can't do that. And Debbie's like, no, but I think that's a good idea. I said, then we have to go out of town. We can't be in town and say we're not coming to Christmas. That's not, that just wouldn't, it wouldn't go well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if we said, "Oh, we're going to be in Barbados or Blue Island or somewhere else
New
for Christmas,"
Orleans.
if we were going to be in New Orleans, which I have recommended that for the last 6-7 years. Let's go to New Orleans for Christmas.
Do it
No.
up.
And Molly was always like, no, I want to be home for Christmas. I want to, well, now she's realized what it's like to be home for Christmas. So she's, but so this is going to be, I had to put the kibosh on that conversation too. I was like, I can't talk about that now. Let's get through Thanksgiving and then we'll figure out Christmas.
Yeah.
Cause I said, well, Molly, if you really don't want to go, you could just say you were sick. And she's like, well, can't we all be sick? I go, no, we can't be. She goes, how about if you say I came over to your house on Christmas morning and then I got sick and you didn't want to leave me alone? And I'm like, well, you're 25. Unless you're really dying, there's no reason for us not to leave you alone when you're sick, So this is it's going to be a crazy holiday season, Cody. That's all I can tell you.
Wow.
That's what, this is, it'll be fine. Thanksgiving. This is now what I think is going to happen because all my brothers are coming in because everybody's going to be here for Thanksgiving. I think there's going to be the out of town ones that don't come in for Christmas. And if that's the case, then we can figure something out. Like I would still see everybody over the holidays. I'm not.
What do you do on Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve, it used to be the three of us would we'd go to church and then we would go out.
Nope, wrong. No, you got to flip it. Christmas Eve, you spend with the extended family. That's when you host it. You have a big party somewhere, right? All the aunts and uncles and all the cousins and grandma, they all go, and it's the big thing, and we call it a potluck or whatever it is, and that's the big Christmas Eve thing. And then on Christmas Day, everybody wakes up at their own house, and they do their own thing.
Yes.
And they just do their immediate family stuff. And if somebody wants to come over later for dessert, you do that.
Oh.
Maybe pop over, see a grandparent. Maybe, one of the kids picks up the grandparent, bring him back and have the meal that day. But that's how we do it. We do Christmas Eve at my aunt and uncle's every year. And that's where we see all the cousins and get all that stuff done. And then we wake up Christmas morning, immediate family. Maybe they stop over, my aunt and uncle stop over for pie later. But that's the way to do it.
That is interesting because for years when my aunt, my dad's sister, was alive, she would take us all out to dinner on Christmas Eve. And then, so we would go to mass, then we'd go to dinner, and it was a really late night. And then we would all see each other the next day too. And after she died, it was like, well, we don't need to see each other both days. So everybody did their own thing on Christmas Eve. And so we would either get Chinese or I think the last couple of years we'd get Italian. We'd bring in food on Christmas Eve and we'd sit around and watch a couple movies. And of course I would read the night before Christmas. Molly and Debbie would go to bed. I would pour myself a stiff drink and watch Bad Santa. That's Christmas Eve. It's a beautiful Christmas Eve. But I like if we got everything out of the way Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day.
And it makes sense in terms of traditions involved because presumably everyone doesn't, like your whole extended family, all your siblings, you don't all buy each other presents.
Correct.
That's why Christmas Eve makes sense for the broader family because you don't need any presents involved. It's just about being together. It's sheerly get together, have some drinks, whatever. We would usually go to mass before dinner. So we do that, go over to my aunt and uncle's. And then, Christmas Day, you just want to wake up and open presents from your immediate family and hang out. So you got to flip it.
And on the 26th, I don't want to do anything.
Right.
26th is my day. That is the sacred day.
Sacred day. It's too bad nobody's hearing this advice because everybody stopped listening after I shouted about capitalism for 5 minutes.
No, they were all in. Everybody hates. Listen, you were like Charlie Brown. You were like Charlie Brown railing against the commercialization of Christmas.
I don't need to say any of the things that I say in this podcast. No. Sometimes I haven't done a rant I immediately regretted like that in a few months. I would say.
I know it's been a while, and I miss them. I miss watching you just go completely insane.
You're the only one. No, my My whole Thanksgiving week plans all got jacked up last week.
What happened?
Well, I was going to take off the Friday, the week before Thanksgiving, and
Okay.
all of Thanksgiving week. I was going to take off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because, everybody gets
Wow.
Thursday and Friday off.
Sure.
And I was going to do it because the newest expansion to Final Fantasy 14 comes out that week.
What does that mean exactly? An expansion of Final Fantasy 14. So the
Final
game,
Fantasy-
they released the game and it wasn't finished?
No, so they release it. So it's the type of game where they release the game, you play the game, you finish the game. But the story can continue. So they call it an expansion. You could almost call it a sequel, but it's kind of baked in, right?
Okay.
So it's the same game you're playing, but yeah, you expand, you get new areas you can go to. There's new story, there's new monsters, stuff like that. So every 2 years, an expansion comes out for this game. Well, it's relevant to Thanksgiving because they pushed back the release date. 11 years.
What happened?
11 years Final Fantasy 14's been out. They've never once pushed back a release date, but they pushed it back 2 weeks. So I had to move my vacation days later in December because my vacation days revolve around a video game release.
That's
who I am.
Yeah, that's exactly who you are. Now, when you brought this to your boss and said, "Listen, I know I had asked for these days off, but now I need these days off." How did they react to that?
I said, I spoke with my coworker and we realized production would be a lot smoother if I spaced out the vacation days and we'd have a lot less crunch involved. So, I think this will be a lot better for work and I can be flexible with this.
You
love myself. Come
on. All right.
I'm not going to say, hey, a video game's coming out on a different day. I got to swap all my time.
No, that would not be a good. If I was your employer, I'd go, "You work here?
Mm-hmm.
This might have been a mistake. We need to."
Now, all I know, she may follow me on Twitter, and I did tweet about it, so maybe she knew. But
right. But listen, you have the days. I guess you could take them whenever.
Yeah.
So what now? Back in your single days or even your newlywed days, you would probably, this expansion would come out. You would cloister yourself in front of your television with Mountain Dew and whatever snacks you are going to, binge on. What will you do now that with the baby? Will he let you play the expansion, or will he, will he interrupt your gameplay?
He goes to bed around 8 and he sleeps through the night. So I will hop on from 8 till probably 1 or 2.
Oh my God.
The first few nights it's out. My wife is an early riser. Thank God for her. She'll get him. And then the second I wake up, I will say, "Sweetie, you're an angel. Thank you for letting me sleep in a few hours. I will now take the baby and handle his needs." And then when he goes down for his 2.5 to 3 hour nap, I will play some more.
Okay.
And then when he wakes up, I will stop and I will be a great father until bedtime.
Now, is this a game that you play with other people, or is this a game that you play solo?
Other people.
Oh, so it's an online extravaganza?
Oh, yeah.
Will the other gaming nerds be accepting of your baby rearing schedule?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot of parents out there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wow. There's things I learn every day.
Yeah, man. Look, holidays are complicated enough without having to throw in a brand new video game.
No, this is you can't be expected to do all that holiday stuff and master an extension of Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
Legend of Zorda.
Right.
Who is this? Wait, what's Legend of Zelda? That's not Final Fantasy.
That's different.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, this is.
Does it have anything to do with Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, this is Link from the Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
The Wind Waker.
Wasn't there some Legend of Zelda thing at your wedding?
Yeah, I cut the cake with the sword.
With the Sword of Zelda.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The Sword of Zelda?
It's called the Master Sword.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. The reason I don't have the Master Sword in my camera shot, besides this whole mess I have, but you know how hard it is to find a good-looking sword hanger? Like a wall mount to hang.
No, I haven't looked for any sort of mounts for medieval weaponry. I'm sorry.
Not. You're missing out.
Well, because I just keep my ball and chain right next to the bed Actually, I sleep with her.
Oh,
Good morning.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I was trying to think of
Another medieval weapon.
The big hammer, but So no, I do not. I haven't looked for any. Where does one look for? Well, wait a minute. There used to be that channel on one of the home shopping networks where they sold knives all the time, and they had swords on there. I'm sure they have some sort of hanging thing. Or there's always that weird store in the mall with like all sorts of art from the Far East, and then they have machetes and samurai swords and stuff.
What mall is that at?
Just about every mall in America has that weird store. There's one right over here. Oh, North Riverside Park Mall has one. And it's got all kinds of like Oriental art, like the dog dragon statues and different tabs. And then they always have samurai swords hanging on the wall.
Huh.
Like on a modified gun rack for samurai swords.
It's like in Wayne's World. Why would I need a gun rack? I don't even own a gun. Let alone enough guns to necessitate a rack. No, most sword hangers are just two little plastic tabs that kind of stick out of the wall and you hang it up. But there aren't like cool ones that would really match.
Now, do you want one that sits on a table, or you want it to hang on the wall?
I want it to hang on the wall, ideally horizontally, I think, probably, so I could put it up high so my son can't get to it.
Yeah. All the ones I'm seeing have samurai swords on them.
Right, that's the thing. They all look Far Eastern, and like Zelda's not that style, at least the sword that I have. I've looked on Etsy, I've looked on Pinterest.
You know what you need to do? You need to go up to Medieval Times, or what's the Renaissance Fair? The Bristol Renaissance Fair.
Bristol.
I bet one of those weird craftsmen in Bristol has it for you.
I was just at Medieval Times and I actually looked for a sword mount at Medieval Times.
Their gift shop?
Yeah. I looked
you
at the
got
gift
these
shop.
sword hangers here in the gift shop?
I didn't ask, but I looked around.
Oh, you should ask. They keep them in the back.
Oh,
they're not going to leave them out front because it's a specialty item. It's not an impulse buy. This is something that people have thought about for a long time.
Well, hey,
you could go up there and buy yourself some chainmail, and you could get yourself your sword rack, and I don't know what else.
Well, let's go back in April. You go free on your birthday.
Is that right?
Yeah. See if you and I can get a midnight showing, and then they'll have to let us both in free.
Oh, at Medieval Times?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Renaissance Fair.
Oh, no.
They will walk around with a big turkey leg. That would be fun. Just be crazy. Ha-ha. Here's good news for you as a gamer. Gen Z is able to recognize video game characters more than actual historical people.
Who's Gen Z? And
Gen Z is young. Good morning. I think she does a podcast about fitness.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true. I don't know what Gen Z is. They're youngsters. They're younger than the millennials, but they were able to identify Pikachu, Mario, Sonic, Luigi, and Kirby 80% or more. Pikachu was recognized by 85% of the people in this survey, whereas Rosa Parks was only recognized by 72% of the people in the survey. Same people. Bill Gates, 67%. Dua Lipa, who I don't know why she was in the survey with them, but she got 60. Winston Churchill was only recognized by 48% of Gen Z. The lowest person in there, or the lowest video game character, was Kirby. I don't know. Is Kirby from Mario Brothers?
He's a Nintendo character.
All right. Well, he got 80% of the people surveyed knew him. Only 48% knew Winston Churchill.
Well, okay. I wish you would show me the pictures, because I don't know. I cannot conjure in my mind a picture of Rosa Parks or Winston Churchill or any of that. There's one
Bill
person.
Gates.
Kinda.
Bill Gates and Dua Lipa.
Okay, so if I saw a picture of Bill Gates, I would know, like, oh yeah, that's Bill Gates.
Right.
I don't know if I would know Rosa Parks from a picture. I don't know if I would know Winston Churchill from a picture.
You'd know Winston Churchill.
What is a Dua Lipa? Thank you, Mike. Good question.
I believe she's a pop singer.
What is this? Dua Lipa.
Dua, Dualipa. 2 words. Dua Lipa. Yeah, she's a singer.
She's 26.
Okay.
Why was she with Winston Churchill?
That's a very good question. I thought the same thing. Well, why was she with Rosa Parks other than they're both women? But yes, she's an English singer, songwriter, and model.
I don't like her.
You don't like Dua Lipa?
No,
I have no feelings about her one way or another.
I do now. All right, Winston Churchill.
I don't know her
Google
work.
Images. I just don't like her face. Okay,
Okay,
Winston.
wow.
Yeah, Winston Churchill. Absolutely. Like if you showed me this picture, I would have zero idea. All right, Rosa Parks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, see, I would know him in an instant.
Absolutely would not know Rosa Parks.
Really?
I know her story, which I think is
Of
more
course you
relevant,
do.
by the way. But
Well, sure, but she's the woman behind the story.
yeah, but no.
Well, there's that one picture on Google Images of her sitting on a bus. That would be a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
There's a couple pictures on the bus. So then you'd have to know. I mean, they taught about Rosa Parks in school.
Of course they did.
You know. Not been to the Civil Rights Museum.
Everybody knows what Rosa Parks did. I think that's more relevant than her face. I mean, there's historical figures whose faces we don't even know.
Like, other than Jesus, who?
Homer from the Odyssey, not Homer Simpson. Not from the Odyssey. Homer, the author of the Odyssey. I mean, everybody in the Odyssey, right? Like Julius Caesar. I mean, you get some busts, but how accurate is that?
All right. Well, yeah, but now we live in a time where there were photographs. All I want is a photograph. I got to touch you. Come on. Little Def Leppard interlude.
Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
Oh, God. Is that Nickelback's Photograph?
Of course it was.
I'm gonna say this. I don't mind that song.
Dude, are you kidding? I used to know all the words to that.
Did you really?
They played it on the Hot AC station where I worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that in college, the Hot AC station? That's
well,
not Atlantic City, folks. He's throwing in some radio jargon. Cody's trying to go deep with his radio knowledge.
I had to explain Hot AC to my wife in the car one time, and I got halfway into it, and she was like, "I hate it."
What is Ringo's version of Photograph? Oh, yes. God, I had it in my head and now it's gone.
Robin and the Seven Hoods.
No, Ringo's version of Photograph.
Ringo and the Seven Photographs.
No, Ringo, the former Beatle. Ringo
and the Seven Beatles.
There were only 4 Beatles.
Ringo and the 3 Beatles.
Okay.
Photographs. .tumblr.com.
And Kodachrome is Paul Simon. It's about photographs, but it's not photograph.
There's a lot of references I don't get right now. I know Ringo. I wouldn't know a picture of Ringo if I saw it. I'm going to look. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I would.
Okay, you'd recognize Ringo Starr. Come on.
I would. That's true. How about the other one? John Elton.
Oh, if you can't recognize the Beatles, then you're really a dweebosaurus.
You didn't even notice I said John Elton?
I did. I let it go. I wasn't. Listen, I was not going to dignify that.
Who was the other one? John Lennon, Ringo
John,
Starr,
Paul, George, and Ringo.
George
Harrison. Paul McCartney.
Nope. Would not recognize George Harrison.
Is that right?
Yeah. I never really looked at him. He does not have a distinct look.
George Harrison?
Well, maybe he does, but it's not one that I care to remember.
Wow. Breaking Bad on the Quiet Beatle.
Yeah, I don't really care about him. Who's the other one? Paul Simon?
Paul Simon, yes. Paul Simon was one of the Beatles.
That's
Garfunkel.
What Paul Simon looks like? I've literally never seen him in my life.
Really?
I've literally never seen Paul Simon's face in my entire life until now.
Look up Art Garfunkel. He's not a good-looking man.
I even saw the Simon and Garfunkel story. Garfunkel I've seen.
You've seen Garfunkel?
But not Simon.
That's weird. How do you see Garfunkel and not see Simon?
I'm dead serious. I've never seen Paul Simon before.
All right. This is very strange.
This is so weird.
You know what's strange? I've left up your correctly spelled plug the entire show.
Wow.
That's very nice. You're getting
the entire show?
Yeah. Till just now. Now I took it away.
Oh, actually, I'm just kidding. I actually noticed that. I meant to correct it the entire episode.
What, that it was still up there?
Yeah, I just didn't.
No, I left it up there. I left it up there on purpose so that we'd make up for all the misspelled ones.
No, get it? I was saying.
Yeah, I
that
know
you're-
what you're. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. You're gonna get it.
Do you think Paul
looking at
Simon
Paul.
would recognize Dalupa? What was her name?
Dua Lipa,
Ding. Okay.
the Dingus Pingus.
It is stupid that she was involved in this.
Yeah, I don't know who Dua Lipa is. I don't know who Doja Cat is.
Doge Cat? That's
Doja
not
Cat?
a thing.
It is. She's a singer too.
What's Bitcoin at right now?
I saw it went up way high.
I heard it hit an all-time high.
Yeah.
66,000. All right.
Are you rich yet?
If I had a whole Bitcoin, I'd have a lot of money, but I've got part of one. That's pretty
There
cool.
you go. What do you think? Have you seen those like Bitcoin ATMs? I know you don't. You rarely go out in public, but
Heard
I've
about
been
them.
in a couple places. Yeah, where you could go and you could put in $20 and they give you however much Bitcoin that is, 1/900th of a Bitcoin. Who is trusting a Bitcoin ATM that's just dropped at a CVS? What kind of sound financial investing is that? Well, I'm all in Bitcoin. Oh, did you mine it yourself? Nope. Went to CVS, got myself some goobers, and then threw my change into the Bitcoin machine. And now I'm rolling in the virtual currency. Crypto, baby. That's what it's a crypto very seriously. That's why it's at CVS.
It's genius business model.
But I already think that crypto is a big scam anyway.
Yeah.
So this just cements that in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's genius because they'll charge a small fee and it'll get deposited into one massive centralized account, Bitcoin account, wallet. And you literally just collect money. So I was just constantly. I mean, and it's not run by like a financial institution, so it's not.
It's run by Bob and the mob guys that he went into business with that have the licenses for the machines.
Right, it's run by Robin and the Seven Hoods.
The Seven Hoods. I think more just the Seven Hoods. Robin's just a figurehead. He's not even running it. He's just the face of the operation.
So you don't want any Bitcoin?
First of all, no. Secondly, not from a Bitcoin ATM somewhere, outside a Wingstop. No. Where do you even see this whole? I know you studied up on all this crypto. I don't get it. I still don't get it. I like my money foldable. I like it in my pocket.
Like your women, hi-oh.
That's it. I like them I like my money flexible. I just don't get it. I know it's not any more ridiculous than the stock market, except there's an actual company behind that stock. Like if I buy IBM, is that even still a thing anymore? IBM? I'm going back to 1968 blue chip stocks, Cody. That's where I invest. I invest all that in IBM. They come out with this electric. I'm buying all the stock. But there's at least a company. I can track them down somehow. I go to an investors meeting and listen to Gordon Gekko tell me that greed is good. Bitcoin, I'm old. I just don't get it. I don't know where it goes. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know you're investing in this currency, but who's going to where do I cash it in? What do I do with it? Stop. Even Tesla stopped taking it. They were going to take it for payment on their crazy cars for a while. Then even nutty Elon Musk went, nah, I need real money for my cars.
Yeah.
Just give me a check.
Even China shut it down.
Yeah. So no, you've been doing this for years though. You're all cryptoed up.
Yeah. Kind of.
What do you think? Yeah.
I got one story I brought.
All right, do it.
Before we close.
Let's hear it.
Do you know about the pyramid in Memphis?
The pyramid in Memphis. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been down there.
Do you know what it is?
It used to be like a convention center kind of thing, I think. Now, isn't it a Dick's Sporting Goods? No. No, I forget. What is it? Is it a Bass Pro Shop?
It's a Bass Pro Shop.
That's all right. So I was close. Yes, yeah. The pyramid was like an arena, and it fell into financial disarray, and it became a Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah. 7th largest pyramid in the world.
Okay.
I just learned about this. I think it's one of the most hilarious things I've learned about our country is that one of the largest pyramids in the world is a Bass Pro Shop
In Memphis.
in Memphis.
Now, does the Luxor's pyramid come in on that list?
I believe Luxor is the next highest one, so it's a little bigger, I believe.
So we have 2 of the top 7.
Mhm.
And normally when you hear pyramid, you think Egypt or scheme.
Yeah.
But you're saying we have 2 of the top 7 right here. And
I
one of them
believe
is a
so.
Bass Pro Shop. Have you ever been in a Bass Pro Shop?
No, have you?
Yes, they're fascinating. Well, one, they have the Bass Pro Shop in Bolingbrook has a delicious restaurant. See, a delicious seafood restaurant. They also have it's just incredible to walk around because you can buy a pontoon boat and a shotgun and some overalls and a nice flannel shirt, and you can get stuffed animals for the kids, and there's a waterfall, and there's aquariums, and you can buy an archery set with a fake deer that you could shoot in your yard. There's everything at a Bass Pro Shop. I bought water shoes at a Bass Pro Shop. I've bought other outdoor accoutrements that I would need at a Bass Pro Shop. It's amazing. I bought fun bear Christmas ornaments for my little bear tree at the Bass Pro Shop. It's if you like anything outdoorsy or even want to look like you're outdoorsy,
yeah,
that's the place to be, is the Bass Pro Shop. Your son would go wild in a Bass Pro Shop.
Oh, he'd lose his mind. My
He'd go
wife
crazy.
my wife took him to the mall today
Oh,
to get an outfit for the wedding, and
Okay.
he, I guess, just went ballistic. He just running around, going up to everybody, just going through stuff. I mean, he's an outgoing little bugger.
yeah. And now he's out shopping. Yeah, go to the Bass Pro Shop. It's fun. I know.
Well-
I saw the look in your eye. You had an East Coast elitist intellectual bias against people in the heartland who go to the Bass Pro Shop.
I have nothing against the Bass Pro Shop. It is objectively hilarious that one of the largest pyramids in the world is
Houses
Bass
about
Pro Shop.
yes, it definitely is. Right on the river in Memphis. It's a giant monstrosity. And it is but I was actually at the big, huge, I think it might have been the original one, the Bass Pro Shop in Springfield, Missouri. This thing was like an indoor Disneyland. It was gigantic. Just I was working there doing stand-up, and one of the guys I was with was like, "Hey, you want to go to the Bass Pro Shop? It's the biggest Bass Pro Shop." And I was like, "Yeah, what else do I got to do? Lay in my room with the weird mirrored ceiling over the bed at the Ramada? No, I'll take a trip to the Bass Pro Shop. Why
Weird
not?
ceiling at the Ramada. That sounds hot.
Well, if you're all by yourself, it's not.
Hmm.
Just look up at your big bloated drunken body all nude lying on the king size bed. That's not how you want to wake up. You're like, this is not good. All by
No.
myself. Just pizza box on the bed. God only knows what happened the night before.
Oh man. I did a quick fact check of myself. The Bass Pro Shop may be the 9th largest. I don't know. One article said it ranks the 15th largest pyramids in the world. It's probably a junk website. Who knows? According to this, I've climbed the 13th highest
Where's
or
that?
biggest Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, just outside of Mexico City.
Really?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful site.
Huh.
The 9th supposedly is the Memphis pyramid. The 6th is the Luxor. Then you've got a couple Egyptian ones. And then the 3rd is the Transamerica Pyramid in San Francisco.
Okay.
It's just a big building.
Yeah.
Second is the Shard in London. It's another just giant triangle.
We saw that. We saw that when we were over there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah. Apparently the largest pyramid in the world is in North Korea, the Ryugyong Hotel.
Huh.
Gigantic hotel.
I was kind of right that the granddaddy of all Bass Pro Shops is in Springfield, Missouri. That's the one I went to, which is just under 500,000 square feet. However, the world's largest Bass Pro Shop is in the Giant Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. It's 535 square feet. It is the largest, and I'm looking at it now. It's not only the largest Bass Pro Shop, it's also one of the largest pyramids in the world, as we've learned. Look how much edutainment you get here.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
And
So
plus
I was right.
height and like square footage is different, and then like mass, because I'm looking at another list that says the Luxor is number 6 and the Pyramid of the Sun is number 7. So
All right.
this doesn't even have the Bass Pro Shop on it, but anyway, it's a pretty big pyramid.
Wow.
It's a very weird way to end the show.
That is an odd way to end the show, but I like it.
I just learned about it, and I just had to share it. I had to contribute something other than just screaming about.
No, you contributed all the things at the beginning that we can't remember, but you did have 3 things that you heard about at the beginning. What has Cody heard? That's the new segment. What's Cody heard? And we'll figure out what you've heard. But no, that's good. And who would? Yes.
No, go ahead. Sorry, what were you gonna say? No, the biggest news I heard was about the University of Austin.
What happened there?
Wait, you didn't hear about this?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, Brian, we could have spent the entire episode talking about it.
What?
It's the university that Barry Weiss is founding. The like alternative learning university.
No.
Where they're not afraid to talk about things that are controversial. All right. Next week.
Yes. All right. We'll get your review of New Orleans and talk about this next week.
Oh my God. It's so ridiculous. I'll send you some links later.
Yeah, send me a link.
I owe you an email too. You texted me. I forgot to follow up on that. I'll do that. Right. I'll do that tomorrow.
I got a lot of dates coming up, actually. All right, it's time for the big plugs. Look at this. I don't know, folks, if you're excited about spelling like I am, but you can always check out Cody on the Curiosity Daily podcast. CuriosityDaily.com is the website. Listen every day for fascinating, scientific, interesting, fun information in a short amount of time. You don't have to spend all day with some eggheads. You spend a short amount of time with Cody and his co-host, and you learn things like pyramids and Bass Pro Shops and things like that. And a lot of dates on WTMJ coming up this month. The next one is this week, the 11th from 6 to 8. Then I'll remind you, but on the 20th, the 23rd, the 26th, lots of over-the-air terrestrial broadcasting again on WTMJ. So check it out there. And we'll be back next week where we're going to talk about Cody in New Orleans and this alternative university. I can't wait to, oh boy, I can only imagine. And who knows what else we will uncover and discuss. Only you will find out. In the upcoming weeks, we will hopefully be visited by our friends at Goose Island. We'll have our annual Bourbon County Stout tasting. So we've got that on the agenda. I'll tell you about FOBAB. We got a lot to get to next week. So we better leave and start jamming all of our life experiences into these days. Anything else you want to add, Great Pyramid Master?
No, I've said too much already.
But it was all fascinating.
Wow.
Every last word of it. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, follow us, subscribe, like, tell your friends, all the buzzwords for social media and all the podcast stuff. And we will talk to you again next week. Thanks.
Correct.
Goodbye.